a stray bullet while sleeping inside his Baton Rouge home. There have been very few leads and no arrests despite some circumstantial evidence uncovered at a traffic stop 2 months after the murder. Fox 44's investigative reporter John Rapolo joining us live in the studio with a closer look at this case. And John, you spoke with his mother and the lead investigator.
Christina, I did, and we take a closer look at some court documents related to the Devin Page unsolved murder case. Now, a juvenile was charged with possessing a gun that was used at the murder scene, but because of lack of evidence showed he couldn't be linked to that murder. 2 years later, there are no arrests. Let's take a look. Are you frustrated that your son's killer hasn't been brought to justice?
I'm frustrated. Frustration is an understatement. I'm severely angry.
Ty Tolliver met us last week, surrounded by pictures of her 3-year-old son, Devin Page. She's frustrated. No one is behind bars for his death.
My life changed drastically. It'll never be the same. I'll never be the same.
April 13th, 2022, just before midnight on Fairfields Avenue. Devin Page was sleeping with his 1-year-old sister side by side in a crib. Multiple shots rang out. He was struck in the head. Investigators say the target was the house next door. 2 years later, there are no arrests. We spoke to the lead investigator in this case, Baton Rouge Police Corporal Sandra Watts. Have you reached a dead end?
Not yet.
We got our hands on over 40 pages of documents filed by the district attorney's office. Now, a particular traffic stop is mentioned 2 months after the murder of Devin Page. A minor at the time, Johnny Brown was pulled over in June of 2022. A .45 caliber handgun is found that matched shell casings from the Fairfields Avenue crime scene. Brown was arrested for charges related to illegal possession of a firearm. Can you talk about him at all? At one point that he was a possible suspect?
I'm not disclosing any of that information.
According to court documents, the firearm recovered was not the murder weapon. Bullet casings found at the scene were from 3 different guns: a .45 caliber, a .40 caliber, and an assault rifle. Court documents also indicate the gun in Brown's possession was fitted with a switch, which is generally outfitted on firearms to make it function as a machine gun. Investigators say, due to the number of shell casings, they were likely the result of the use of fully automatic weapons. At the time of his arrest, Brown was out on bond for a second-degree murder charge. He was ordered to wear an ankle GPS device. It was not charged at the time of the Page murder. Brown couldn't be placed at the murder scene. We spoke to East Baton Rouge District Attorney Hiller Moore a few months back.
We're missing a big chunk of time, particularly the time of the Devin Page murder.
Brown's bond was revoked and he was ordered back to jail, currently awaiting trial in June. Lead investigator Watt says this case is another example of needing the public's help.
And try to impress upon the public that the most important thing, if you see something, say something.
Right. And as in the case with every murder in the city, police, they need your help. Now, if you have any information about the murder of Devin Page, you could be eligible for a reward if your tip leads to a conviction. How do you do it? Well, you call Crime Stoppers. The number, 225-344-STOP. We're live in the studio. John Rapolo, Fox 44 News.
All right, and if you have a story worth investigating or if you've been the victim of a scam, email us at investigate@br